Joining us now is Chris Hedges, who is one of the most prolific writers of our time. He's also one of the most respected journalists and has a show with us here on RT. He's good enough to share some of his time with us. Chris, I want to start by asking you about this somewhat interesting article that has been published by NBC, where I guess they're not big fans of this politician from Hawaii named Tulsi Gabbard. And Tulsi Gabbard is staked out a position as being somewhat anti-war, which is in and of itself nowadays kind of a strange place for most politicians. But they go after her by saying that she has ties to the Kremlin because she wants troops pulled out of Syria, and then vis-a-vis has ties somehow to RT because we are, quote, part of the Russian propaganda machine. What do you make of this kind of reporting?
Well, it's not reporting. It's kind of right up there with communists put fluoride in our drinking water. We've seen this kind of smear against Bernie Sanders, Jill Stein, who I supported, the Green Party candidate, and it's, they pick it up. There's no attempt to find primary source material to justify the claim. Remember, didn't Russia hack into power grids in New Hampshire or something? I mean, but you get away with it because the dominant narrative demonizes everything that is Russia, and those the ruling elites don't like, including Bernie Sanders or Jill Stein, or in this case, Gabbard, become tools of the Antichrist. I mean, it's so far from journalism, I don't know what to say. It's kind of part of the frightening deterioration, in particular, on the electronic media, which can say anything, whether it's substantiated or not.
It seems, too, that oftentimes they use the Russia narrative as a go-to position. And look, I'm not here to defend the Kremlin or the Russians or Putin. I don't, criticize them duly when they do things that they shouldn't do, because that's my role as a reporter, as a journalist, or to try my best to do that at any given moment. But it seems like when I watch the media establishment today, they've chosen Russia as their go-to position for all things negative. And that just doesn't seem like it's well thought out. Does that bother you?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think we look back on the whole anti-communist hysteria within the United States. Remember, Martin Luther King was supposed to be a tool of communism. Anybody who challenged the dominant structures of power or the ruling elites became tarred as a communist. I mean, I myself was attacked like that when I covered the war in El Salvador by officials, including Elliot Abrams, in the Reagan administration, and we're just seeing another iteration of that. So if you don't like a populist like Sanders, then they become a tool of Russia. If, in my case, you're a critic of corporate power, the corporate coup d'etat that has seized power in the United States, you become a tool of a foreign power, and you get algorithms imposed by Facebook and Google to marginalize what I write on websites like Truthdig or the other sites that pick it up. I mean, all of those left-wing sites have been victims of these algorithms, ostensibly because they are tools of or agents of a foreign power, although it's utterly absurd. I don't think Truthdig, the site I write for every Monday, column, has ever said anything nice about Russia or Putin. So this is just part of the kind of demagoguery that's pushed by the Democratic Party largely and the liberal establishment that refuses to address the real issue, which is the social inequality, which they largely helped orchestrate, that has created a dysfunctional and a failed democracy and an oligarchic state. And so on the right, far right, you have Trump and those figures attacking Muslims and undocumented workers and creating a fake crisis along the border. But the liberal establishment is no better. Neither are dealing in a reality-based universe. And that's what this is really all about.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.